Welcome back to RealVacantLand.com. My name is Luke Smith, and I'd like to share with you some data I've been working on. And so we're always working on buying land, selling land, going after different trades. Today, I'd like to talk about million dollar plus land flips. They're happening. I see them in the marketplace. I can track them down and I can map them out and I can copy them and go ask for more. So I'm looking at the data and studying. I got some examples, and today's examples are Dutch Brothers just because I have data on Dutch Brothers in front of me, but it could be all kinds of different brands or different kinds of retail locations and other things too. But for retail, I think it's easier because we could talk about one brand and focus in on it. So let's jump into some numbers. I got this spreadsheet that I had pulled up in a previous video I just made here. I want to point out this number. This is $1.3 million. How do I get to this $1.3 million? These are a bunch of addresses of Dutch Brothers in Florida, and I looked up the price that they paid for the land and how much they're asking for the property. I'm taking how much there is a difference in between the land and, that they bought it for, usually within the last year. They bought it really recent. A lot of these are 2024, some 2023, one 2021. And now they're asking to sell it by marking it up more than $1 million. And I'm saying less $500,000 because the way these deals are structured, usually with Dutch Brothers, is that if you're the landowner, Dutch Brothers will ask you to do some groundwork. They'll ask you to put in a driveway and utilities and those kinds of things. I don't know exactly what that number is, but I'm guessing, and I'm making some room for error. I think it's going to be less than $500,000 in groundwork to go prep one of these sites and get it ready. And then Dutch Brothers brings in the building and sets it up, starts selling coffee and paying rent. So if we guess at $500,000, which I think is a little high for doing the groundwork to set up one of these buildings, we still have on average $1.3 million spread between buying these things and selling these things. And so looking at these, where's the best spreads happening? Well, the worst spread is on this one here. This is the one that just sold or just went under contract this week. It was up for sale last week. It's not for sale this week, I'm guessing, on these numbers. But the spread's like $600,000. They paid $850,000 for the land. That's the highest price land in the list, the lineup. And they got rent. They got, I think, the lower end of the NOI. So when they negotiated the rent with Dutch Brothers, I think they got the lower rent. So the higher price of buying the property and the lower end rent comes out with the least spread. So some of these that have the biggest spread got the highest rent. They asked for the most in rent, $150,000, and landed the 150. There's one down here for 146. Those are the higher end ones, but the others seem to be 110 or 120. Seems to be more in line with what people are getting. This biggest spread one, the $2 million plus spread up here, they got the land in 2021. So they have a longer timeline to put this together. I believe by looking at the tracks in the mud of these different transactions, I believe they probably bought the land without a tenant in mind or landed, or maybe they had one in mind, but they didn't have it landed. And then they landed it and then they pulled it off. These other ones that have shorter timelines, they bought the land in 2023, 24, 23, 24, 23. So if I go back and look at the street view of these properties during the times that they bought these properties, previous to buying those properties, even like months and months previous to the closing of those properties, there's signs on the property that says under contract or it's happening. So I believe what they did is that they contracted the property, like they got it under contract, they tied it up. They said, I need some due diligence time to do my thing, and I want to build something on this property. Maybe they knew a Dutch Brothers developer and they want to go talk to them and pitch them and make it happen, or maybe they didn't. So eventually they got Dutch Brothers on board, and Dutch Brothers said, yeah, we'll use that land. It fits. It's got all the right criteria. It's what we want to do. We're expanding. We want to go for it. And they sign some contracts and they go for it. And then they go buy the land. They buy it in. They say, okay, our due diligence timeline is met and our what we want to do is met and it's all looking good. Then they buy it in. Then they buy it in for the, over $500,000 kind of price, not the $250,000 price with no idea of what they're going to do, but they know what they're going to do. So now they're willing to pay, $750,000 for the property, and they go dress it up and make it happen and then turn around and sell it like one of these. They put a picture on the internet of one of these things, whether it's built yet or not, and they sell it that way. And then they ask for these kinds of prices. They ask for these $2 million, $3 million asking price with a big spread. They marked it up $1 million plus. And I don't know why this keeps changing. I keep trying to make this orange. And so they make it like you know, with a spread, probably talking like 1.3, take out some commissions and some, maybe these are asking prices and it's not exactly what they get. It's $1 million plus spread. So numerous properties in the market. This is just one state. You can go do this in lots of different states across the country. It's just one brand in one state, multiple examples of $1 million plus spread in these kinds of properties. I like that. I like seeing that in the data. I like figuring it out, tracking it down, and going to do some of those deals. So if you're following along, thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my videos. Please feel free to ask questions, throw them in the comments. I'll try to keep making more videos and other views and angles of things I'm seeing in the real estate market along the way. Much appreciated. Talk to you again in the next one. Bye.